First of all, we started to receive more Chinese investments, and majority of the investments is coming from my consulate's jurisdiction, from Shanghai, from Jiangsu province, and from Zhejiang mainly. The second change is in my district, the interest towards Turkey, not only in the economic side but also in the cultural and academic side, is rapidly increased. The biggest dream of me is try to be successful in starting a direct flight from Hangzhou in addition to Shanghai. Currently, Turkish Airlines is flying from Shanghai to Istanbul daily, but I think it's not enough. The total population of that area, these three provinces, is larger than many countries.
DP World, our Dubai Ports World, has signed an agreement with Zhejiang provinces to facilitate the cargo shipment between EU and Dubai. That will make convenience in majority of trade. It will enhance the efficiency of customs. It will also save the time. That will give smooth arrival to UAE, which will be very convenient to the business people to send goods to UAE.
We recognize that the Belt and Road Initiative is a very important activity introduced by China. It has regional and global focus. New Zealand is talking with China about how we can best get involved in those BRI activities. And so we just want to know now how to better build on that foundation that already exists.
I think one of the central tenets of the Belt and Road Initiative is connectivity. China has made a lot of progress in building those infrastructures that allow its neighbours to have that greater connectivity, not just with China, but with the rest of the world. I think another aspect of the connectivity, and again it goes back to the people exchanges. I see a lot of initiatives in Shanghai, in Jiangsu, in Zhejiang and Anhui and Jiangxi, which link to the issue of bringing people together. I have been invited to quite a number of events where the youth have come together and have discussed ideas that really are preoccupying their minds. I think China is bringing all these people together at regular intervals, but making sure that these people know each other and that they hear good practice from other people and they go back to their own countries and their own regions, sharing those ideas with their own colleagues and friends.
For example, now we even have agreements with different cities, with Hangzhou, with Shanghai. We have joint projects in sport, culture, communications. When I came here, there were 6 Slovenian students here, now there are 200 of them. More and more people are studying Chinese. I'm also studying Slovenian. Now you can study Slovenian language in Beijing at the university. We have 4 Confucius Institutes in Slovenia. A lot of new deals on horizon. We are discussing now how to establish flights from Shanghai, Nanjing, Beijing, Xi'an and Guangzhou to Slovenia.
This kind of initiative we would like also to take part in. I'm going to different cities. I discuss with the party secretaries, with mayors and with businessmen in these cities a different initiative relating to Belt and Road. We would like, of course, as integral part of Belt and Road countries, to be partner to this new initiative that brings the people of Israel, the people of China, and the people of Asia together.
One of the things that I could mention is the investment. The amount of investment from China to Indonesia has increased. Starting in 2013, it's only 1.4% of the total of foreign investment in Indonesia. Last year in 2017, it's amounted to 10.4%. And also in terms of trade, Indonesia has always had deficit with China. But last year, the trade deficit decreased by 38%. I'm sure it's because of the BRI policy.
I think it's brought to us an understanding of the importance of connectivity, a better sense of what China considers to be important and how it plans to interact with all of us in the coming years.
The main advantage of Turkey, as I said, is increasing Chinese investments. The total amount is around $2 billion. For instance, a large state-owned company of China on shipping, COSCO, they bought one of the biggest private ports in Turkey. Also, 2 major banks of China, namely ICBC and Bank of China, started to operate in Turkey last year. Big telecommunication companies like Huawei and ZTE, they are very strongly present in Turkey.
I can tell you about, so the initiative is one that we are looking at closely to know how to better respond to it, but we have, for instance, in connectivity. Connectivity is a very strong feature in our relationship. We have very strong education, tourism and other people-to-people links. There's a lot of Chinese people living, studying, visiting, doing business in New Zealand, and there's a very strong growing number of New Zealanders doing the same here in China. So our people-to-people links are very strong.
Education, infrastructure, and payment service. In 2015, in December, our Crown Prince has visited Beijing. They have signed an education agreement about student exchange, teacher exchange, language exchange. Infrastructures, UAE have signed also an agreement with Costco, the large shipping company. That will also add a lot of things of value. Payment service, some shops started to accept Alipay. Actually, recently this month, through Dubai Tourism, we have signed with the WeChat to accept WeChat payment widely in Dubai.
Investment in transport, investment in logistics, investment in Slovenian airports, more investment in production, and of course, more tourists.
The investment, they are more focusing on what Indonesia initiative on the maritime fulcrum of Indonesia, where the investment are concentrated on the ports, toll road, at the places, at area that are focused on the north part of Indonesia.
Israel as a country who's situated between Europe and Asia, China from the east looking to the west, and Israel willing to cooperate with China in this regard and to continue our close bilateral cooperation to bring into more regional and international cooperation together.
Talking with China, there's a lot of huge opportunities. I would say trade, tourism, retail, logistics, real estate, renewable energy, high-tech, a lot of things, a lot of cooperation that an opportunity actually for the mutual of the two countries benefit we can do.
We've already identified 4 areas, 4 regions that would benefit from the BR initiative, namely the North Sumatra, North Kalimantan, North Sulawesi, and Bali. In this region will be projects offered under the initiative of BRI that would benefit from Indonesian, not only in those areas, but also will felt by all the people in the whole country. When the project on the high-speed train finish, that would boost the economic growth not only in Bandung, in Jakarta, but also in the town along the train lines.
More Chinese people visiting Turkey and more Turkish people visiting China.
From my perspective, the more personal connections that we make, the greater understanding we have in an ever more turbulent world, the more important it is for us to understand our neighbours, our near neighbours and our faraway neighbours.
I would like to see more integration in the maritime transportation, and by this Israel can be a very good bridge between China and Europe. Ships that going from here by the sea can go to Israeli ports, so it can cost less money. A lot of maintenance that going from China to Europe.
Our links will continue to grow. People well-being, environmental well-being that we would hope we can develop further with China.
We'll put some more effort in education. Secondly, more cultural exchange, more Slovenian events in China, more Chinese cultural events in Slovenia. I think that One Belt, One Road is a fantastic idea. But the first thing what we have to do is education, cultural exchange, language. This is the most important.